Just shooting the first video here of the year, and I got as always, a special guest, Daniel Cavanaugh. He's with Elbert Construction.
Yeah,
right?
And we do siding and gutters as well.
Okay,
so
yeah. So, ironically enough, it was time for me to shoot another video, and Daniel was inspecting my roof for me today because my wife and I, we've got a little one on the way, and I was refinishing and painting and doing furniture and stuff like that into her future room over the holiday break, and noticed that I had probably about a dollar bill size brown spot above one of my windowsills in the roof, right against the wall. So Daniel's helped me out numerous times with my clients, and initially met him at chamber events. So he's the first one I thought of to give me to give him a call and to come look at it for me and tell me if anything's going on. So anyway, Daniel, appreciate you taking the time to do this. It's pretty impromptu.
It's very, we're like out in the driveway and you're like, can you do a video for me? I'm like, oh, sure.
Yeah. So he's pretty easygoing, as you can tell, but did you see anything abnormal out there?
I didn't. Obviously we had some storms over the spring, and that's one thing I'd encourage everyone to do is if you didn't have your roof looked at from the spring to the fall, I would have it looked at, especially now we're in this wintertime with a lot of moisture. But we had a lot of storm damage, so that's always one of the things I'm looking for, because you have insurance, so that's one of the reasons you pay for insurance is if you can utilize that. And one of the things I noticed was just some light damage, which if I know it's light damage and it's not worth calling in, I tell homeowners that. I try to be honest in the sense of what I feel you can and can't do. I've dealt with a lot of insurance companies. I've looked at a lot of roofs, so I kind of know that judgment call. It's more of a gut thing, just because of my experience and everything. So, but I would encourage people to take a look at their roofs. We do free inspections. One of the things that I was talking to you about is we do, and you've seen me do, is we do video inspections, take pictures so that...
So helpful.
Right. And that way people can take ownership of what they're seeing. It's not me just, hey, you need to do something about this. They actually look at it. They're taking ownership. They can see the problem, especially if there's a leak and I can associate it with that. Right. One of the things I'll add is we also do water test, which a lot of contractors won't do because it takes time. But if we got a leak and we want to find it, we will not do any kind of work until we can identify where we know that's coming from. So we'll do a water test, get up there. I'll bring one of my guys if I need assistance, and really pinpoint where that leak is coming.
So basically what you're saying is hooking up the water hose and just running it down through the entire surface area of the roof and through the valleys.
Absolutely. We'll get a guy in the attic. We'll start looking, seeing where it's coming from. Once we identify it, then we can say, okay, this is what it's going to cost to get it fixed and what needs to be done. So.
Sure. Well, I know he's helped me out, like I said, with several of my clients, and you say probably, I get up probably once a year, like we were talking. I probably look at my roof about once a year, or especially, or more so if I know we just had a bad storm, like some strong winds, hail.
Which we get a lot of in this area.
Sure.
And one of the things I tell people, at least once a year, if you're scared or if you're a little timid about getting on the roof, because obviously you don't have a steep roof, we can come. It's a free inspection and just take a look over, give it a once over. If there's nothing there, there's nothing there. It's a waste of my time to say, oh yeah, you might get a free roof. That's not what we're in the business for. We want to make sure people have good roofs and they're good to go no matter what direction we may go.
And you guys only will do a single layer back, right?
Correct. We don't do 2 layers, and it's more of a personal call for our owner, just because it's hard to warrant that stuff. If you have a leak, you can't figure out if it was the person before you or if it was you, and it's just really a gray area there. So,
well, it's really, it's the best way to do it, just to be certain it's done right.
One thing I would add, and just kind of came to my mind here, if you're looking to just get a new roof, and obviously we're coming in, we're giving estimates. One of the things I like to tell people, and what our company likes to do, and I'm not saying we have a corner on the market on this, but we really like to sit down with a homeowner and tell them what they're going to get, tell them what their options are. Some people are going to be in their home 4 or 5 years, some people are going to be in their home 20 years. So there's different options based upon what kind of coverage you want on your roof as far as warranties. There's transferable warranties. And it's better to know what you're getting and what you're paying for, as opposed to just somebody gives you a bid and they slap a roof on there and you have no idea. Most of our warranties are registered, so you get that paperwork and it's transferable.
So you sell the house.
Correct. And as obviously a realtor, that's important when you're dealing with that, because you and I both know we have dealt with a lot of homes, both you and I, when we looked at them, and that's the one thing that comes up on the home inspection is the roof. And guess what? That's like the high dollar item. It's going to cost 10, 15 grand, which is pretty much average price here at Evansville, 10 to 15 grand. You're going to fall in when it comes to replacing a roof in this area.
What type of shingles like are
Yeah.
available out there now? I mean, I know for the past maybe 10, 15 years,
Right.
things have gone to a dimensional shingle.
They've changed. The dimensional shingle's been around since probably around the 1950s. So it's just right. Yeah, it's just developed more over the years. To the point now where they're putting about, what I'd say a 50-year now prorated warranty is what's available. The dimensional shingle is what I'd go with. Now, obviously, we're GAF. We're not, there's other companies out there and varying degrees of warranties, and I believe in the GAF and the product that they offer. And
Can you explain about the GAF?
I can. So for instance, as far as our company, we're a master lead contractor, which basically means we're certified to put on the upper echelon of warranties. They've also seen our work, they see what we do, and they say these guys do it the way they're told. It also gives you the ability to get some backing. So if we were to sell out and go out of business after 20 years or whatever, you'll find another master lead contractor who will come in and take care of some issues. So you've got some double backing there.
You can say, hey, we got this issue. This guy's not in business anymore,
Right.
but it is GAF certified, and they can still help you out.
GAF's been around for about 130 years. So they've really been a leader in their field, and kind of, as far as across North America, they're really the leader, in their industry. One of our competitors would be, you'll probably hear a lot of this, would be Owens Corning. We can really put on any shingle. So if you say, hey, I'm not really wanting to pay that price, we're just wanting to sell this home, maybe got a rental house. A lot of people have rental houses. They want to get something that's just really affordable because they don't want to put a lot of money into it. There are other options, other brands that'll still give you a good coverage, but you're not having to pay those higher dollar amounts when it comes to that. So, but as far as GAF, really a great leader in the industry. In fact, they've got a local plant just down in Mount Vernon, so a lot of jobs they produce in this area.
Yeah,
so it's kind of absolutely. So, but that's kind of where we're at. We also do just kind of focus on, we do siding and gutters. We specialize in roofing, but because we do a lot of storm restoration, then siding and gutters just kind of fall into that. We're certified with a lot of the siding companies out there. So then we offer warranties on that.
But you got hail damage on a roof. I mean, there's a good chance you got hail damage on your siding.
Right. And one of the things you're going to want your inspector to do, even if you got an uncle or a brother-in-law or somebody who's looking at it, is you're going to want them to look at the entire home. Okay? Because damage just doesn't affect just the roof. It's going to affect your siding. It's going to affect your metal wraps that are around your fascia and your gutters, your downspouts. So you want to be pretty thorough in all that.
Absolutely.
So,
I mean, I see you checking that too. You walk around the house and just take a look at the gutters.
Right.
See if you see certain evidence of
Correct.
hail damage on those areas as well.
Insurance companies are looking for evidence. Going back to the whole insurance thing, you got to be able to prove that case to them that this is damage, because they have to prove it. The adjuster has to prove it to their manager, and it just kind of goes down the line there. So,
what about metal roofs?
Metal roofs. That's one of the things I get asked a lot around in this area, just because metal roofs have got that, they last for 50 years. They're, long term, never have to put another one on. Metal roofs look good depending on what home they are. So if you've got an old farmhouse and that's the look you're going for, so be it. They're not cheap, so they're going to be pretty pricey. Standing seam, if you're going to metal roof, I say standing seam is the best one.
What's that mean?
Basically what that means is that the rivets and everything you're going in are overlocked on each other, so you're not exposed. So you don't have any washers. So a lot of times you'll see roofs. Yeah, you'll see roofs with little rivets on them, and you see them going up. Those have got a washer under to keep them leaking, but over time they will dry rot and begin to pull away from that, and then you can get leaking. Yeah. So if you're going metal roof, standing seam's the better way to go. The problem is if you're just going because you hope it'll last longer, cosmetically, if the hail hits it, it's going to cause, and you can see it, it's going to cause that abrasion. Yeah. And insurance companies are not replacing those metal roofs unless there's a complete hole through it. So if it's just cosmetic, they're not doing anything about it because it is metal. Their warranties now on regular roofs are just as good now as the metal warranties.
Because I remember here several months ago, I guess it's back towards the end of the summer, I had Daniel come out and take a look at one of my clients' roofs. I was representing a seller. Stuff came up on the roof, about the roof in the inspection report, and had Daniel come out and take a look. He's like, hey, there's definite storm damage here. So long story short, my clients were able to get a new roof and got it provided by their insurance. Now, that doesn't happen to everybody.
No, it doesn't. I never guarantee that. Even if I see damage, I never guarantee it.
That doesn't happen to everybody, but
It's definitely something you want to get checked out. People don't think about the roof because it's out of mind, out of sight until the leak starts coming into your house. I say be proactive. It's going to save you money because guess what? You're not doing work inside too.
Right. Yeah.
And it's a pain in the neck. If you're living in your home and drywall starts falling down, now you got to move everything. Everybody's got to bring in all the tape. It's a pain. It's a pain, you know. So the biggest thing I tell people, if you're looking for a contractor, whether it's us or someone else, look for someone you can find. Yeah, you can always find somebody on Andrew's list. You can always find somebody with a Better Business Bureau. But find someone that you know that's recommended. And I know that's how it came with us.
Yep.
We were a chamber. There was a lot of recommendations. And someone you know you can trust. If
Yep.
you don't trust that person, don't hire them.
Exactly.
If it's me, don't hire me. Because it's not going to be a good relationship. And that's what I'm about, and that's what Elbert's about. It's about the relationship we can build long term. And I would say with Elbert, the biggest thing that I like, we've never been mistake free. But we do not leave until that problem is fixed. So you can be assured that we're going to be there to the end. And even afterwards if ever a problem arises. So
Awesome.
yeah.
Awesome.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Hey, no problem. He's got my endorsement. He's always been a straight shooter, very honest. Not one that if it's not going to be an insured type item or repair, he's going to tell you. You know, so Daniel's got my endorsement, like I said. So I use him. He's my first call, and I appreciate you coming out.
Thank you.
Appreciate for the
Thanks
impromptu.
Yeah, you bet. No problem.
Impromptu here.
Yeah.
It's got
Happy
last
New Year,
minute.
everybody.
Yeah. So until next time, we'll talk to you guys again soon.
Yep.